Hey YouTube. My name is Jose. I am a truck driver slash car enthusiast. Really, I want to put a few videos out there on some cars that I think are a dying breed. I also want to show y'all my car collection. I see a lot of people doing it. Why not? I'm not really in it for the money. I'm doing my dream job. I'm truck driving and collecting cars. So far everything is going well. Um, Really, what I just want to show y'all's my car collection. I am a European enthusiast. I like pretty much all European cars. Volvo, Mercedes, BMW, Jaguar. Um, I actually have one of each. Several of each, actually. Um, I'm going to show y'all my car collection. Some of them are fixer-uppers. There's a few that need a few repairs. They do run and drive, except two in my yard right now. I'm going to show y'all all the ones that I have on my property today. There's three more on a different property. And mainly, I just kind of want to show y'all the pros and cons of owning these cars and how expensive they are to repair and how inexpensive they are and how reliable they are and comfortable. A lot of these cars you can pick up real dirt cheap. I mean, dirt cheap. There's people that freak out, and shops tell them, "Oh, it's going to cost you this, and that much." To fix problems you could actually fix yourself. You don't have to be so mechanically inclined to fix a few things on these cars. Um, Water pump, fuel pump. Some of them have BMWs. They have an access door to get to the fuel pump. All you need is a 10 millimeter and a Phillips screwdriver, and probably some pliers for the hose clamps. Um, they're pretty easy. I've changed a few already. Mainly, like I said, I just want to show y'all my car collection. I've been inspired, by Tyler, several other people here on YouTube that make videos like this. So let's show you my car collection. All right, first and foremost, this is my BMW. This is a 745 Li, as you can see. Yeah, some scuffs, missing the center cap there. Body, there's some ugliness there. More scratches. I picked this one up pretty cheap. This one wasn't running when I bought it. It was missing the key. I got the key fob for it. Cost me around $360 just to get the key down, but I got the key for it. This is a 2004 year model. Has 158,000 miles. AC and heater work, but not right now because the heater core started leaking, caused a short in the fan, and so on and so forth. But I'll show you on the other side. A few tears in it, but other than that, it's intact. Soft close feature still works. All the lights work perfectly like they should. The rest of the paint is pretty on it. Back seat's intact, another ding. I took this side apart. I haven't put it back together because you're fixing to see I have way too many projects, but eventually, as I say, I will get to them each. I tore the fan out, and you can kind of see some evidence there where some of the antifreeze was coming into the interior. I actually had sold this car to a friend of mine that really needed a car. This was the only thing I had running at the time. She took it, and it just got worse. But as everybody knows, these cars are very notorious for, having electronic issues, computer malfunctions, and, suspension issues from what I heard. I wanted one. Here it is. And it's here to stay. I'm gonna make several videos on how to repair the fan. I'm gonna show a video on how I'm gonna take the whole dash apart. I already got some of it pulled apart, like I said, but I'm gonna show you how I did it. Second car I'm gonna show you. This car, actually, I am in the middle of selling it. Doing some repairs to it before it goes. But this is a 2002 Volvo S80. It is the one with the twin turbos. Not even gonna get into the specs too much on it. I picked this one up with some really good tires. I'm assuming, I don't even know how to say this, but it has to be a special edition, because if you see the shape of the seats with the lines, I have yet to see another S80 identical to this one, especially with those rims. Just around here in the Texas Panhandle where I'm at here, you don't see these. This one runs and drives. Transmission starting to act up a little bit on it. Second and third gear having trouble. Other than that, it's a good car. It's got some hail damage on it, but overall, one of my favorites. I'm letting it go because I have way too many. Next, I have a 2006 Volvo, and this is an XC90 with a V8. It's a 4.4 liter V8. Some dent stains. Nice vehicle overall. I mean, I mainly picked this up because I wanted it to tow things, which I haven't purchased a boat yet, but when I do purchase a boat, this is going to be what's going to pull it. If I get any more beaters, this is what's going to tow them in. And my favorite as well, this is my very second purchase that I ever made on my own. This is a 1989 BMW, and this one is a 750IL with a V12. I'm not going to go too far into much details with this one. This is my daily right now. This is what I drive every day for now, until I fix one of these other ones, and I will get this one going. I did a cat delete rear end swap. It's got some tuned computers, so it runs pretty good. Later I'll give more info on it. This one, that's the ugliest part in the interior, and passenger seat just got a tear right there, as you can see. I got my junk in it, but this is my daily. I love this car. The miles are really going to impress you, which I got the key, might as well to show you. A lot of people are just wowed to see how many miles the car has. 212,000 miles. Well over 200,000 miles now. Starts up every time. You kind of hear the loud exhaust it's got. It's stock, it's still stock. I didn't really mod the exhaust. See its beds there. Second car I'm going to say. Okay, on to the fifth car. Now this one I picked it up really cheap. I picked this car up for $450, and it was running when I bought it. It needed a battery. I put a battery in it, and I actually drove it home. I don't know where those scratches came from. That actually looks kind of new when I bought it like that. The people that had this car before, they tried doing their own body work, which, ouch. I don't know what all they done to this car. This is a 1989 Mercedes. This is a 560 SEL. The paint is rough on this one. I got the other cover, I just haven't put it on yet. I put one in just to see what it looks like. Got them used. Tires are all mismatched on it. The sunroof when I bought it was opened, so kind of gives you an idea how the interior was. More body damage, more dent stains. Motor and transmission are pretty solid. This one is having a misfire issue right now. Broken tail light, you know, a few little cosmetic issues. One thing I didn't point out on my Beamer, that's more I plan to fix on it. Each car, I'm going to keep them as original as possible. I'll probably put, you know, some newer rims on it. I have a newer BMW and Mercedes as well. Put some newer Mercedes rims on it. I actually want to put some AMG mono blocks on this car. I think I got the back door locked. Front door's unlocked. Tear on the driver's seat. Another tear there. A few tears on the passenger seat. Overall, the car mainly is intact. This one has 112,000 miles. So this has to be one of the best buys that I've made so far. It does have the heated seats. Some of the window switches fell through, which if any of you own one of these or know how these are, you know that's a common thing. You press the switch too hard and it just falls off. This car is a car that I plan to keep. I'm gonna get the body work fixed on it. The AC and heater work on it. Surprisingly, for as cheap as I bought it, you know, usually you get a car for this amount of money and nothing works. Now here is number 6. This is an 87. This is a 560 SEC coupe. I love this Mercedes. This is going to be one of my toys for some time. I'm not planning on selling it yet. Sunroof motor is messed up. This one, I'm probably going to keep it just the way it is. I'm going to leave the rims that it came with. I already bought it with those rims. I didn't do any of the paint, do anything with it. It's missing the antenna motor, which thankfully, as having as many of these cars as I do, I actually bought one that came with an extra one, so it worked out. Interior's a little dirty. I haven't really driven this car much. Part of the reason I don't want to put any miles on it. That's sagging over there, that's already come unglued. The rest of the headliner's intact. A few tears, you know, nothing major. The typical hole in each of these seats from people sliding in and out. Now this is what impressed me a lot about this car, and this is one of the reasons I bought it. Now I didn't spend that much. I actually spent 1,200 bucks on this car, but I had to drive all the way to Denver, Colorado to go get it, which wasn't really fun because after I saw the condition it was in, I was kind of pissed because most of the auctions, they either use a filter or they just, you know, they don't ever show you that angle where the car has issues. This one in the front, it's really not banged up, but it is missing the grille, and the whole purpose it's missing the grille is because the hood latch cable broke and somebody decided to rip the grille out, which I have pieces of it in the trunk. They broke the ring around that headlight. The other one is still there intact. I got the hood to shut and close now. I have a new cable. I haven't had time to put it in yet. Like I said, I have way too many projects, which I'm not blaming anybody for my addiction. I fell in love with these cars and I've just been buying them ever since. Every time I see one pop up for sale on Facebook, I try to nail it. Try to get it as cheap as possible. The next car I'm going to show you is a Mercedes 300E. This is an 89 as well. I know I have a lot of cars that are made in 89. There's a few of my junk boxes. This one's got some junk in it, but this one does run and drive. There's actually nothing wrong with this car other than cosmetic in the front. This one has 130,000 miles. This one is actually the most intact one that I have out of all of them. You know, it's not all tore up. The seat's actually really nice in this one. Everything as well in this car works. AC heater. I am planning on keeping it as well. I will show you the ugliness in it in front. It's missing the whole lower half of the bumper. There's a dent in the grill. It's missing a few of the spokes there. The hood really doesn't close right. That's the way I bought it. It was all banged up. The fender was hit. But the rest of the car is solid. And on to the next car. This car is another keeper I'm planning on keeping. This car is by far the cheapest Mercedes I've ever bought. And this is actually the 4th car I've ever bought. I've sold 3 cars that I have owned between here and there, but this is number 4. This one I picked it up for $200, and really the tires were just worth that. And I was actually going to use the rims and tires for this one. Now this one is a 1988 Mercedes 420 SEL. I said one thing a long time ago. I wanted to have a Mercedes of every model made in the 1980s, and I've got my collection pretty close. That broke off on me. This car does run and drive. The distributor cap's taking a crap on it already, so it needs a new one. It fires, but it really struggles to start. I got a few things inside of it, but this one as well in the interior is not as tore up, you know, surprisingly. This car has a funny story with it though. You can barely see the miles there. This one has 102,000 miles, and it was 102 when I bought it. It's probably got 108 now. I've owned this car since 2014. We're in 2019 now. It's been very reliable to me. I've dailied it several times throughout the year. I'll leave it sitting and I'll just go back and start driving it again. Everything works in this car, but it had an electrical burn. Previous owner, he put a really tall top post battery, and those of you that know about these Mercedes, they got the battery in the corner there up on the top of the firewall. I'll just go ahead and show you real quick what happened. And it's a miracle this car survived. But you know, he as well told me that this happened when the car was off. Now I have a bad habit of pulling batteries out and putting them in other cars, which the battery is actually in that one right now. And you can see there where the other battery had welded itself onto that, because he said when he finally got the hood open, yeah, it did some damage. He struggled to get the battery away from the hood, so he had to keep shaking it. But after that, he didn't attempt to make the car work again. He unplugged the battery and left the car parked ever since. He actually wanted scrap price for it because he said, oh, the car wasn't worth it, you know. But then again, the car wasn't running when all this happened to it. It took me about a month to rewire it. You can kind of see some of my wires there that I ran. I ran some new ones in the fuse box. Pretty much I just rerouted all the wires that were burned. Thankfully they actually stayed intact, but their shell, you know, they all melted and fused themselves together. So I just had to go by one, separating each one until I was able to get it going. And it fired right up after I got it going. The only thing I had to do separately was a switch to the fuel pump. But you know, the car runs and drives. There it is. You know, I'll keep it. I'll drive it till it blows up. Another car I'm going to show you. This one I actually had a accident with it. This is as far as I've come to fixing it. It's moving slowly, but it's moving. This is the 1994 BMW. It's the E32 body style. This is a 740iL. This was another really nice example of these cars. If you see it from a certain angle, until you see the other side. But this one as well does run and drive. Well, I mean, obviously, right, because I wrecked it. This one, plans I have with it is just restore it, get it back all one color, and fix all the dents and dings. This quarter panel here is becoming dissipated. I do have the gas door in my other E32 up there, my V12. That one actually broke on me the other day at the gas station. When I opened it up, it just fell off, and the plastic gets old and brittle. But this one, any repair videos, if y'all have any ideas, you need anything, I am gonna make a tutorial on how to fix the headrest motor on that one. I actually have it torn apart. I want to show y'all real quick what my plans are. I already cut the wire. Everybody knows about these stupid little screw type deals. You just cut it. The teeth at the beginning, they get wore out. It'll grip farther down in, and it'll actually work. I've already took it apart. The reason I went messing with this one was because this one was way up here, and I was like, okay. I tried lowering it, and it wouldn't go down. So I took it apart, started fiddling with it, and I got it to go back down. I just haven't spliced it back together. This one does have the shades all intact. It's one of my favorite features that I like about this one. The other shade is down in the door. And last car that I'm going to show y'all today, I got junk inside of this car, bad. This car has been parked since 2013. This is actually my first Mercedes. I was 15 in high school. Me and my dad went around car shopping, and this one caught his eye. I told him I'll take the cheapest option. I don't care for... I really wasn't a person that, I need a shiny new truck or a really shiny car. This car was really beautiful when I first got it. You'll see the front end actually is not lined up at all. I did have a fender bender with it, and it was not my fault. I was involved in a hit and run. I was actually in an intersection here where I live, and these guys were joyriding a stolen car. They hit me, and they took off after that. So I was screwed. On top of that, at the time, I only had liability on the car, which my dad told me. He was like, you should have full coverage, because at the time this was the only car that I had to drive. And this one is an 89. It's a 300 SEL. This car has taken a beating, and I am really impressed with it. Right now, if I stick an oil pan in it and some fresh oil, plugs, wires, this car will run, no problem at all. I've had it several places. It's actually been to Odessa. It's been to Dallas once. It's a pretty good car. I'm really happy with it. I really want to get it running soon. I just haven't had the time or money. That and how long it's been parked. I may have some seized calibers, and fuel pump's actually brand new in it. I did drain the fuel out of it before parking it, so I know that's intact at least. That's not going to be too hard to get back running. That is my collection right there. As you can see, my yard is packed full of cars. I need to cut my yard a little bit. I'm starting to get grass. There's my cat Sophie. She's usually following me around the yard, seeing what I'm doing. But there is some of my fleet. I have more. I have 4 more cars I'm going to show y'all, and I will show that on a later day. But if y'all have any comments, questions, about these cars, any of them, Mercedes, BMWs, Volvos, go ahead and comment down below. And if you need any repair advice, or pretty much you're just looking to see if you can pick one of these up pretty cheap, look around. They're all over the place. You know, a lot of people get these cars and they don't care for them. They don't fix them. They just let them fall apart. And you know, all of these right here are fixer-uppers, but for the price I picked them up, I saved them from the salvage yard. And as you can see, car has no miles. This car doesn't leak a drop of oil. It doesn't burn oil. It doesn't do anything. It runs really smooth. And this one, compared to the 560 up over there, this one runs really smooth compared to all my other ones, except for the one under the carport over there. This one rides really, really smooth. And I mean, suspension, there's nothing wrong with the suspension. I had one caliper seize up on me on this car so far, and that's it. I haven't had no temperature issues, no, other than the distributor cap going out now, but that's it. Each of these cars, like I said, I picked up cheap. I considered them all my toys, and mainly the Mercedes in. I don't plan on selling any of them besides the BMW up there. I probably will part with the white 740 eventually. The car I did not show y'all, I'm just storing this car for now. If she does end up selling it to me, I will get it. The back window is torn. This is a 1997 BMW Z3. It's only got 92,000 miles. I mean, the car is sharp. You can see the paint there is intact. I'm gonna go ahead and show you a little bit of it. I waxed it the other weekend just to see how the paint cleans up. I mean, the paint is really, really nice. There's like no dents in this car. And I'm just gonna show you a little bit here what's wrong with it. They patched it and they tried to restitch it. She doesn't have a garage, so it just sits outside. It's been getting wet, but there it is. Really pretty car. And if she sells it, I'll pick it up. Flat tire already. It's not typical, but that is my fleet. There's my toy again, and I call this one my toy because it really is. I like to drive it around. I like to get on it sometimes. The BBS is actually on that BMW over there are the ones that belong to this car. But just wanted to show y'all a little bit of what I have. Like I said, y'all have any questions, feel free to comment, and I'll try to make some more videos. I am going to make several repair videos. I'm going to make another video here soon on the other cars, and after that I'm going to put up a video of each car individually on what I plan to do with it, what I think about it, and that's pretty much it. So y'all guys let me know if y'all want to see anything specific.